Thank you, Senator Ernst. Senator Manchin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And General, thank you so much for your service and your son and your family's dedication to our country. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate our conversation yesterday, and we were talking, I think, and I think I told you that in my lifetime, going clear back to the Vietnam War, watching and being involved very carefully, this is the only just war I've seen us involved with the right purpose, is the Ukraine, supporting a country that's willing to fight and die for their freedom, if you will, and democracy that they cherish. Can you tell me what you have observed and learned, basically, from your people out front in that war, and how it's changed our perception of how we would conduct ourselves?
Thank you, Senator. The war in Ukraine has taught us a few things, although I think the final lessons learned are yet to be learned. But here's what we have assessed thus far. As I said earlier, the individual fighting spirit and willingness of an individual soldier, or in our case, Marine, is paramount on the battlefield. It always has been, always will be. If you train and prepare a resilient, tough warrior, they are very hard to kill. We have found that over and over through history. Low signatures matter. If you are observed on a modern battlefield, you will be targeted. You have to have mobility and low signature. What's changed over the last 15 or 20 years is that the ability of an adversary to detect you has become almost off-the-shelf technology that anybody can procure, even your lesser adversaries. Long-range fires absolutely matter. If you don't have the range to reach an adversary, then you're of no real consequence on the battlefield.
Are we restricting any of the concerns that they have and the type of equipment they've asked for and support?
Senator, there's a very rigorous process, the Presidential Drawdown Authority, which we're on number 41. The Marine Corps is a part of that. So we get an assessment of what those tools asked for and then authorized would do if provided. Would they change our Marine Corps readiness? So we are part of that process and always have a...
Do you think we're supplying, we're supplying them what they need? I know the F-16, they keep asking for the fighters. They want long-range missiles. They're asking for those types of things they think that would help them in defending themselves but turning the war.
Senator, I would not, as a nominee, I wouldn't speculate on what should or should not be provided under Presidential Drawdown Authority, but I can commit to you, sir, that if confirmed, any request that's made, we will give that a thorough vetting on part of the Marine Corps to ensure that those resources that are required are provided.
Also, we talked a little bit about basically how we treat our soldiers and we leave no one behind, and the families, compared to the Russians, what they have done, what we have heard, the atrocities going on, and bodies not even being returned so there can be reparation or basically any payments or any support to the families. Have you found that to be accurate?
Senator, what I can say is what we provide is we always take everyone off the battlefield or continue looking until we do. We treat our families well, and for those who have sacrificed everything, we care for those families. That is not true of the Russians, and I would not want to be, I would not want anyone to compare them to us because we are not in the same zip code.
Can you also speak briefly on what cost savings would be to the branches of military? Of course, what you oversee is our Marines. If we did and got our work done on time and got our budget done by September 30th, and you had a guaranteed budget number to work with versus a CR, can you tell us the cost savings there?
Senator, I think our rough math is approximately 4 of the last 10 years total time has been spent in a continuing resolution status. Whether that savings is 5 or 10%, I don't have an exact number, but I can tell you that when all your funding comes in 4 or 5 months out of a year, it is impossible to spend it smoothly, correctly. Manufacturers can't absorb that. The defense industrial base struggles. And I think that's actually where most of our waste will come from.
I'll throw you a figure out. American Enterprise Institute threw out a rough estimate of $200 million per day under the latest continuing resolution that covered the start of the fiscal year 2023. That's a total of $18 billion. That's real money.
So that's real money.
We better do our job, guys. Thank you.